Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, and that means that I'm on Tumblr, and if you're not following me on Tumblr, then I don't know how you'd ask your questions. So if you haven't, find me, Kati Morton. It's pretty easy. Everything, I tried to make it the same, so it's easy to find. But if you've asked your questions using the hashtag KatiFAQ, I've searched and I've found them, and there were bunches of good questions, and I know Tumblr is very popular for a lot of you, and I'm sorry that I can't get through more questions, but my videos are already long enough, and I try to be faster so that I don't bore you. But I have 5 today, as well as a journal topic, so I gotta get cooking. And my voice is back. Hello. Oh, I can sing again. It's amazing. That's what antibiotics will do. So, okay. Question number 1. Hashtag KatiFAQ. Please answer. Have you heard of purging as self-harm? That's what my therapist said about me, but when I looked it up, there's nothing. Am I the only one? Thank you. No, you're not the only one. And to be truthful, diagnostically speaking, so diagnoses, those are 2 separate things. Self-harm isn't even its own diagnosis. It falls under BPD, borderline personality disorder, and then an eating disorder. So if you are purging, and if you are binging and purging, then most likely you have bulimia. It might be something else, but I don't look at purging as a form of self-harm unless my clients they were self-harming first. And I know this is just my own experience with this, my own thoughts on this. Diagnostically, like I said, there are 2 separate things. So technically, what she's saying doesn't exist. And that's why when you're searching, nothing's coming up. But I would say this to a client as well. If they used to self-harm, so that was first, and then they stopped, right? We worked on it, and they slowly stopped doing it. And then instead of self-harming, now they're binging and purging. Then I would think it's a replacement for the self-harming. To me, it depends on what comes first. But binging and purging in and of itself has nothing to do with self-harm. It's more related to an eating disorder. But like I've always talked about, self-harm and eating disorders are very closely correlated because we're using them as another way to deal with emotions, PTSD, things that have happened and things that we don't know of another way to cope with. Make sense? I hope that helps. Question number 2. When are your problems bad enough to see a psychologist/therapist? I get this question all the time. And you don't have to have bad problems to see someone. So see someone. I know that voice in your head is really judgmental and it tells you all these things and you have to be like almost on your deathbed or so suicidal in order to see somebody. And that is just not true. I see a therapist. Yep, me, Kati Morton. I see a therapist. I've seen a therapist for years. And now, to be honest, I don't see her every week. I take like months off and then I'll come back, like recharge my battery. I'll go back out into the world. But seeing a therapist doesn't mean that you have to be at the end of your rope. It's nice to have someone to talk to who has an outside perspective, and it can help to vent. It just helps to talk to someone. And our friends are great, and friends can be another great outlet, but sometimes it's nice to get a professional's opinion, So go get help. If you're thinking about it, chances are you should be getting some support, okay? Question number 3. Kati, while I was at home for the holidays, I feel like all the work I've been doing in therapy in the past year went out the window. Do any of you feel like this? I've been hearing this a lot lately. All my self-hate, guilt just reemerged as if it was never gone. My therapist left a message today asking when I'd like to reschedule my next session, but now I feel like I'm just going to waste her time and that I can't go back or even return her call. How do I deal with this setback? Don't let the negative voices tell you that all the work you've done is gone, because it's not. Something that we forget, and that I even forget. When we go home, like if we've moved away, okay? So I've moved away. My mom and my family's in Washington State, and I am in California. So I've been down here for, like 12 years, I guess, already. How old am I? I'm old. It's 12 years. So I've been here for a long time. And so when I go home, I like revert into like 18-year-old Kati, or maybe Sean might even say like a 12-year-old Kati. Who knows? I could be a total brat, but I just turn into like a weird version of myself where like my mom expects me to check in sometimes, and I find myself wanting to do the same things that I used to do when I was at home, and I act the same way, and like I turn back into an old version of myself. And it's very normal for us to fall back into old habits, and the pressure of family and the stress of holiday can make that happen even more. Remind yourself, do some positive thinking against your negative, like that, you know, I do eating disorder voice and healthy voice. Let's do this negative setback voice and let's fight with the positive and set an appointment with your therapist, because not all is lost. I promise. You need like 2 or 3 weeks of venting time where you can be like, what the hell happened? It was terrible. And then I did this and then, oh my gosh. And then we'll get back on track, right? And we'll prepare more for next time. Because the thing about these setbacks is it teaches us what our triggers are that we didn't even know existed, because it's at home, right? It's not something we encounter every day. And then next time we have a get together with our family, we're more prepared, okay? You're not alone, and we'll get through it, right? You'll get right back on track. Not all is lost. You still have all your tools. Don't let that voice fool you, okay? Question number 4. Is it normal to go into therapy wanting a diagnosis? And if you do, is it better to bring up the diagnosis you think you have at the beginning of therapy, or just let it happen if that's really what you have? Of course it's normal. A lot of us, especially if we think we have an eating disorder, we self-harm, or we wonder if we have borderline. If you've been watching a lot of my videos, I know many of you are playing around with the idea that maybe you have some of the diagnosis that I've talked about. Bring it up. First session, second session, doesn't matter. Whenever you want, whenever you're comfortable. It's fine. I've had plenty of clients come in and say, you know, I've just been really thinking that I'm struggling with the eating disorder because of blah, 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 and they just dump everything that they've been thinking about and what they've been worrying about. And it's kind of helpful for the therapist, because then I'm like, I'm taking notes, right? And I let them see the notes if they want. And I'll write down like patient concerned, you know, with they may have bulimia or an eating disorder of some sort, blah, blah, blah. It gives me a structure to know what you want to work on, because obviously that's bothering you. Whether or not you get the actual diagnosis doesn't really matter, but it gives us a treatment goal, right? Because you don't want to be doing that anymore, or you want to cope with that better, or whatever. So bring it up. No holds barred. Therapists we're just there to help you. So the more you share with us, the better. Question number 5. Who should be the leader in therapy? The patient or the therapist? That's a really good question. Sometimes I find myself waiting for her to ask more questions, but it seems like she needs me to say more first, and I just don't know what to say. I'm just starting out. Thank you. It can be tricky at first, right? Therapy's kind of weird. It's like we're meeting with a friend, but it's not really a friend. We're talking about things, but she's not really talking about things. I'm the one talking about things. It can be really weird at first. I try to let it flow a little bit. The leader should actually, in my mind, it should be you, the patient. Now, I'm like your tour guide, and you're the one that's like telling me what you want to see. Does that make sense? I feel like that's a good analogy. It's like if you go to the LACMA, which for those of you not in LA, it's like our museum of art. So if you go to the LACMA and you have a docent, it's like I'm your docent, but you're coming, you're like, I want to see the romanticism, blah, blah, blah. I heard Degas was in, I want to see that. You tell me, and then I'm like, right this way. So that's how it works. If that helps, let me know. Okay? Now, journal topic today comes from one of our very own. So thank you so much for giving this. Ooh, I bumped my elbow and shook the camera. This is a really good one. This is going to challenge many of us. And I have an actual video on this called, I think it's Need for Perfection, that I did like way back in the day when I first started. But this is challenging your perfectionism and the need to be perfect. It says, allow yourself to make some mistakes, a lot of them. Write a journal topic of your choice, your day, your goal, your dreams, your recovery, etc. Make spelling mistakes, cross things out, write a little sloppily. Maybe even I get so many cards, and thank you so much, you all are so wonderful. But you can send me a scribbled out, oops, I made a mistake. Because I know I get annoyed when I'm writing a card and I make a mistake, but that would be awesome. I'd like to get some oopsie mistake cards. Oh, I made a oopsie, but I'm still sending it and it's not perfect, right? And if you haven't been perfect, let me know. Let me know how. What'd you do? Did you not line everything up? Did you not comb your hair a certain amount of times? Did you not do something in the certain way that you normally do? And then, this is the good part. Check in with yourself after you finish and notice how you feel. Is your anxiety higher? Do you have to change it? Do you have to go back and redo what happened? What happened? And what can we try next time, maybe a little smaller version, and work in baby steps towards a goal of letting go of our perfectionism? I think that's a good one. Okay, so it's getting long. We're 9.5 minutes in. Oh my God. Okay, tomorrow, Wednesday, website and YouTube. So leave your questions below. We'll check them, and I'll see you then. Have a good one. Bye.